This is the JTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. The British telecommunications company Lime has denied allegations by its main rival in the Caribbean, Digicel, that it is unfairly charging customers for calls to certain numbers on the network. The Irish-based telecommunications company has called on Dominica's National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, to investigate the allegations. This according to news coming out of Dominica by the Antigua Observer. In a statement, Digicel said in November last year it had detected unusual calling patterns to Lime numbers across 12 Caribbean markets and launched an investigation which discovered that consumers may be improperly charged for calls to certain Lime numbers. But Lime Chief Executive Officer Martin Roos in a statement said there is absolutely no substance to Digicel's claims about overcharging and that they will be communicating this to the regulators. Roos said the situation had been resolved in January of this year. The Trinidad and Tobago government has named a 3-member independent committee to probe the circumstances that led to the death of a baby boy whose head was cut when his mother underwent a cesarean section on March 1. Attorney General Anand Ramlogan said that the work of the committee, which includes consultant obstetrician and gynecologist attached to the University College London hospitals, Dr. Melanie Claire Davies, should not be viewed as a witch hunt. Ramlogan said the committee would determine what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what should be done to prevent it from recurring. Ramlogan said Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has already indicated that there is to be no sweeping of this matter under the carpet. An autopsy found that the baby died from a laceration to the head which caused massive blood loss and hypovolemic shock as well as prematurity with severe intrauterine growth retardation. The government of St. Lucia has signed an agreement with the government of Taiwan in the area of information and communication technology. According to a release, the agreement, which was officially signed by Taiwan and St. Lucia on Wednesday, March 19, is part of a push by the government to make strides towards modernizing its operations and processes for increased public access to and availability of service. St. Lucia's Minister for the Public Service, Information and Broadcasting, Dr. James Fletcher, said the cooperation on ICT really extends to 3 major areas: infrastructural development, e-government and e-commerce, and ICT capacity building, education and training, and it complements some of the work that is already in train by the government of St. Lucia and some of it with the government of Taiwan. The agreement will span a period of 5 years. ICT development continues to be a major stated priority for many countries in the Caribbean and was a significant talking point at this month's CARICOM Heads of Government Conference in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Eco-friendly diver Jason Dimitri got more than he bargained for when he was forced to fend off an aggressive reef shark after encountering it while culling lionfish near the Cayman Islands. The diver was using a GoPro 3 camera to document his efforts to remove invasive lionfish, which in the past decade have overrun many Caribbean reefs and are threatening the balance of the marine ecosystem. Dimitri was reportedly absorbed in his task when a 4-foot reef shark appeared literally out of the blue and lunged repeatedly at him, leaving him with no choice but to use his spear to stave off the strikes until they stopped as he neared the surface. Dimitri filmed the action, which he said occurred at a depth of about 70 feet, and managed to capture the moment the hostile shark swam towards him with its jaws open. Despite that, he says the scary encounter will not deter him from attempting to save the reef habitat. He said the shark was acting in his natural environment and has no ill will toward him. Dimitri says he is hunting lionfish to help protect the reef from the destruction that they cause. Meanwhile, the video of the incident has gone viral, with well over 2 million views so far. The Caribbean Tourism Organization, the CTO, says it is delighted with the announcement by the British Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, that the air passenger duty will be reformed from next year. The CTO has been lobbying for a change since 2011. The Air Passenger Duty, or APD, charged a higher rate on flights to the Caribbean than to Hawaii and placed the United States at a competitive advantage. The APD is currently calculated by measuring the distance between London and the destination, divided into 4 bands. The Chancellor has announced that from April of 2015, APD will be simplified into a 2-band system. Band A for short-haul flights from London and Band B for all long-haul flights. The new Band B will increase in 2015-2016 to £71 for reduced rate passengers and £142 for standard rate passengers, or a current savings of £14 per person. CTO Chairman Beverly Nicholson-Doty said, "This is a complete victory for the Caribbean, which, led by the CTO, has been lobbying against the unfair system. We are delighted that the Chancellor has finally accepted the Caribbean's proposal, made in November 2010, to return to the simpler and fairer 2-band system." Officials across the region responded favorably to the UK's move. CEO of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, Jeff Vassar, said the disparity in the APD has been a critical factor leading to the decline in arrivals from the United Kingdom to the Caribbean. The Chancellor's rationale behind the reform is that a lower cost of flying makes it more affordable for UK families to travel overseas. APD has risen by up to 470% since 2007, making passengers flying from UK airports among the most heavily taxed in the world. For the JTV Caribbean News, Sean Rose.
Coming up next on JTV News. A survey shows 62% of young people in the Virgin Islands are inactive. Officials are taking steps to increase physical activity and reduce poor nutrition. The Autism Center making great strides, and JTV News gets the opportunity to meet the people at the center and get a close-up look at their important work. And a significantly toned-down awards dinner for educators held this year on the rooftop of the Cutlass building in Road Town.